Pocket English Podcast
from your pocket.
Welcome to Pocket English Podcast, where we help you speak natural English in just a few minutes. Today, we are going to build an emergency rescue kit for the most terrifying moment in any English conversation. Picture this. You are at a friend's party. You meet someone new. You say, "How are you?" They say, "Good, thanks." And then, nothing. Complete, terrible silence. Your mind goes completely blank and you just want to run away.
I used to pretend my phone was ringing just so I could escape that exact silence. It is the absolute worst feeling in the world.
But it does not have to be. In the next 10 minutes, I am giving you 3 simple pocket phrases that will instantly restart any dying conversation.
I really wish I had this rescue kit when I moved into my first shared apartment. I spent so much time hiding in the kitchen just pretending to wash dishes because I was terrified of getting stuck in an awkward silence with my new roommates.
You feel your heart beating fast, you worry about your grammar, and suddenly you forget every single English word you have ever learned.
We've all been there. We call that running out of things to say. It's when your brain just stops producing words. And it's completely normal, especially when you are speaking a second language. You are focusing so hard on translating that you lose the natural flow of the chat.
And usually, this happens at social events. You're standing next to the snack table, holding a plastic cup, and you're trapped next to someone you do not know.
Exactly. But here's the secret. Even if you don't know this person, you usually share a connection. You're at the same party, which means you probably have a mutual friend.
A mutual friend. What exactly does mutual mean in this context?
Mutual means shared. So if David invited me to his party and David also invited you to his party, then David is our mutual friend. He's the bridge between us.
That makes sense. And that mutual friend is the easiest way to break the ice. When we say break the ice, we mean doing or saying something to make a tense, quiet situation feel more relaxed and friendly.
Which brings us perfectly to our first pocket phrase. When the conversation dies and you're staring at the floor in silence, use the mutual friends to break the ice. Just ask, "How do you know David?"
Oh, I love that phrase. How do you know David? It's so simple, but it works like magic. Why is this phrase so powerful, Emma?
It's powerful because it's an open question. When you ask someone how they are, they can just say, "Good," and the conversation stops again. But when you ask, "How do you know David?" they have to tell you a story.
That is so true. They have to say something like, "Oh, David and I went to university together," or "We work in the same office downtown." And suddenly, you have new information to talk about. You can ask them about their university or their job. You have completely restarted the conversation.
Exactly. Now, let's look at how native speakers actually pronounce this phrase, because we don't say every word perfectly clearly. We don't say, "How do you know David?" We link the words together.
Right. The words kind of push into each other. How do you becomes how'ja. How'ja know David? Listen to that rhythm. How'ja know David? I want you to try this out loud right now, wherever you are. I'll say it slowly, and then I'll leave a second of silence for you to repeat after me. Ready? How'ja know David?
How'ja know David?
Beautiful. That's your first rescue phrase. Keep it in your pocket. But what if you're not at a party? What if you're at a work event, or maybe the mutual friend is actually someone famous in your industry and you want to sound a little more charming?
That's when we use our second pocket phrase. This one is the compliment bridge. It's incredibly warm and makes the other person feel important immediately. The phrase is, "I've heard a lot of great things about you."
I've heard a lot of great things about you. If someone says that to me, I'm instantly smiling. It completely removes the awkwardness because you're giving them social flattery.
It works every single time. Let's look at the grammar here for a second because it's really useful. Notice that we say, "I have heard." We are using the present perfect tense here. We don't say, "I heard" in the past tense.
Why is that? Why do we use the present perfect?
Because the present perfect connects the past to right now. You heard these good things in the past, maybe yesterday, maybe last week, but it's important right now in this exact moment as you are shaking their hand. I have heard a lot of great things about you.
And native speakers will almost always shrink that down. We don't say, I have heard. We say, I've heard. I've heard a lot of great things about you. Now, Jack, some people might ask, what if this is a lie? What if nobody told you anything about this person? Is it okay to use this phrase?
Honestly, yes. In casual English small talk, this is just a polite social routine. Even if someone only mentioned their name once, you can say, "Oh, I've heard great things about you." It just means people respect you. It makes them feel comfortable. And their natural response will be to laugh and say, "Oh, really? I hope they were good things."
Exactly. It creates an instant friendly connection. Let us practice speaking this one out loud because the intonation is very important. You want to sound warm, not like a robot. The stress goes on the word great. I've heard a lot of great things about you. I will give you a second to try it. I've heard a lot of great things about you.
I've heard a lot of great things about you.
One more time, nice and warm. I've heard a lot of great things about you.
Perfect. By the way, if you are enjoying building your pocket phrases with us today and feeling a little more confident, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We make these short, practical English lessons every single week to help you sound natural in real life.
We love having you in our community. All right, let us move to our third and final pocket phrase. Let us imagine the conversation has been going for a few minutes. You used the mutual friend phrase, you talked about the weather, you asked them what they do for a living, they said they are an accountant, you said, oh, that is nice, and boom, another awkward silence.
Oh, the work question is a trap. Asking someone what they do for a job is the most common small talk question, but it often kills the conversation. Maybe they hate their job, maybe their job is very complicated to explain, or maybe they're just tired of talking about the office on a Friday night.
That is why you need a pivot. A pivot is when you smoothly change the direction of the conversation, and the best way to pivot away from boring work talk is our third pocket phrase. What do you usually do for fun around here?
What do you usually do for fun around here? This is such a refreshing question. It gives the person permission to talk about their hobbies, their weekends, or their favorite restaurants. People love talking about things they enjoy.
Notice the structure of this question. We are asking about a general habit, so we use the present simple tense. What do you do? But we add the word usually to make it sound more relaxed. What do you usually do?
And outing the words for fun is the key part. It tells them, please do not talk about work anymore. Tell me about your life.
Let us look at the pronunciation at the end of the phrase, around here. This just means in this city or in this neighborhood. When we ask a question that starts with a W word, like what, where, or why, our voice actually goes down at the end of the sentence.
That is a great point. A lot of learners think all questions go up at the end. They say, what do you do for fun around here? With their voice going up high, but that sounds a bit surprised.
Right. For natural small talk, drop your pitch at the end. What do you usually do for fun around here? Listen to how my voice drops on the word here. Let us practice it together. Speak out loud with me. What do you usually do for fun around here?
What do you usually do for fun around here?
Let us try it a little faster, blending the first few words. What do you usually do for fun around here?
What do you usually do for fun around here? Excellent. Now you have 3 powerful pocket phrases. How do you know David? I've heard a lot of great things about you. And what do you usually do for fun around here?
Now it's time for our pause point challenge. This is where we test your memory in a real-life simulation. You can't just listen to English, you have to actively produce it under pressure.
Here's the scenario. You and Emma are standing at a coffee shop waiting for your drinks. You started talking, but the conversation just died. Emma is going to look at you and say a very boring dead-end sentence.
After I speak, I will leave 3 seconds of complete silence. In those 3 seconds, you must say one of your 3 new pocket phrases out loud to rescue the conversation before the time runs out. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. Yeah, the weather has been really crazy lately. So anyway,
Stop right there. Did you say one of the phrases out loud? You could have said, "So, what do you usually do for fun around here?" It fits perfectly right after talking about the weather.
let us do one more simulation. This time we're at a dinner party. You're sitting next to me, we both finish our soup, the silence is getting awkward. Rescue the conversation. Ready? Wow, that soup was really delicious.
Time is up. Did you jump in? That was the perfect moment to say, "So, how do you know the host?" Or, "I have heard a lot of great things about you." If you spoke out loud, you are already building the muscle memory to never freeze in an awkward silence again.
Your challenge this week is to write these 3 phrases down in the Notes app on your phone right now. Keep them in your pocket. I want you to use just one of them the next time you talk to an English speaker, even if you are just practicing it in the mirror before you leave the house. Action builds confidence.
And to help you take action right now, I want you to imagine we just met at a party. Answer this question in the comments below. What do you usually do for fun around here? Tell us your favorite weekend hobby using natural English, and we will reply to you.
You have absolutely got this. Take a deep breath, keep practicing, and we will see you in the next episode.